Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're test flying this baby. This is the formerly EC135 by Eurocopter, or now the Airbus H135 by the Hype Performance Group. Now, first helicopter in FS 2020, and I'm flying on a yoke and throttle quadrant, just to put that into context here. But we're going to take this thing for a spin. I am a lover of helicopters. I love them. Never been perfect at the sim, but it's worth a try, right? This thing is gorgeous. They've put a lot of work into it, and we're going to go and actually take a real deep look at the aircraft here. Now, I'm not going to go through the full startup procedure because I'm an idiot, and I don't know it. But I will take a look at some of the comfort features we have in the aircraft here. Of course, this is freeware, and it's fantastic freeware at that. But we have a home menu. We could set a doors thing where we could open any of the aircraft's doors. As you'll see here, the doors are now open there. Let's take a look outside here. In fact, we'll go into our roty-doty camera drone. Of course, for the air ambulance variants, this would be open so they could slide patients in. Right now, it's a cargo area. In this particular variant, we have seating for 3, 5 in the back area. That's not bad. Texturing and modeling quality is good. I really like this. Lovely looking aircraft. Comes with a bunch of versions. I think 1.9 at the moment. So it has a bunch of liveries with it, and it's a great airplane to fly. Let's go and actually do that as I try and find a way back inside. Okay, there we go. So we do actually have an autopilot functionality. Let's close those. We'll leave the side doors open because you're not flying a helicopter unless the side doors are open, right? We have controls for the spotlight, which is cause some game crashing, so we'll not do this. Light controls. We have autopilot functionality, flight plan. So really versatile aircraft. Oh god, we have multiple facets there. That's actually really cool. So the actual interior modelling in this is really beautiful. They've done a fantastic job. And I'm going to press Control Easy, because I'm lazy. Now I do need to go up to max and down thingy again. On my throttle there to basically, or collective I should say, in a helicopter. To get rid of one of the warnings on there. But we should be okay. Now there are some hover functionalities which we're not going to bother with because if you're not flying a helicopter you do it manually, right? So spooling the baby up now. And we're going to see what she can do. What does this do? I don't know. Maybe it just sits there. I'm not a helicopter expert. But I think I might become one in this sim because it's such a beautiful sim to fly in that it's almost worth flying choppers. Right. Let's let our RPM come up to maximum power. Come into 41, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. I'm not going to count all the way. Rotor RPM's coming up to good. And we'll taxi out to the runway and depart. There goes our RPM to full. So let's lift it just off the ground. Give it a bit of pedal. Oh, it apparently wants to go this way today. Not sure why the controls are being a little bit strange. So we'll taxi her out to the runway, but I'm going to give it quite a bit of side pedal there because it wants to rotate at the moment. We'll taxi her out here. A little bit quickly, so we'll just drop it back down again. There we go. Let's manage our speed nicely. Oh, there we go. A bit more torque coming in. Okay. Bring it round to runway heading. There we go. Fly her this way. And we'll take off from runway heading just to make things nice and easy for today. There we go. Give it a bit more pedal to even things out. Tip her over and get her moving. Now I'm experiencing some weird pedal shimmy because it wants to turn the other way. And now I get off the pedals and it behaves itself again. It can be a little bit strange sometimes in that regard. But it can certainly be weird. See, now I'm neutral on the pedals and it's behaving itself finally. Let's bring her around here. We don't want to worry about getting too far out to sea. The aircraft really does handle nicely now. Of course, this sim wasn't built for helicopters, so it's not perfect. It's definitely a lot more safe feeling than a real helicopter would be. But it is very enjoyable in terms of how it flies. It operates exactly like a real helicopter, which does mean it's pretty complicated. You're running all 4 limbs basically separately to control different aspects of the flight. So I'm bringing it down here over the firehouse at Orcas Island. Let's bring around, drop the collective down, and J-turn it. Gained a bit of altitude there doing that, but we'll let the cyclic settle down. We'll drop some altitude. Just manage the pedals, kick the cyclic back in again. Collective even, not the cyclic. The cyclic's your stick, essentially, in a helicopter. Collective is the what you'd refer to as the throttle in a GA aircraft. Over the little harbour here. Beautiful. Let's go outside. Bring around again. Great effects on the aircraft as well. Really does behave nicely. Looks phenomenal too. Look at that. Oh, hello. Hold the stick. So, pull down the collective, helicopter goes down. And it also gets torque when it does that. You'll notice it starts to twist when I come down. Essentially, the tail rotor is counteracting the... When you're in a neutral position, I'm just neutral on the controls right now, it's flying. If I come down on the collective, it turns left. Up, it turns right. So it's basically the natural torque of the main rotor, increasing and decreasing, is basically changing the actual rotation of the aircraft. So you have to balance that with your pedals all the time. It's a key part of flying a helicopter. But this bad boy is really, really responsive. I love how it flies. And after a little bit of getting used to it, you will manage those pedals like a pro. And be able to really enjoy flying this thing as we head down towards the lake here. And we'll J-turn it over the little harbour. And bring her back in. So I'm going to kick the pedal and drop that. And we're flying backwards, because why not? Let's neutralise it out a little bit. Oh, hello. There we go. Hey. Spin her around. Ain't no drama. There we go. Got about 80 knots of airspeed under us right now, so we'll come back in towards the airfield. Drop her down to treetop level. There we go. Nicely done. Let's do some low-speed maneuvering. So we'll... See, we've just spun around whilst actually we'll tip her forwards to balance this out now. See, when we spun around there, we spun around so fast, we still had that forward momentum the aircraft had, so it allowed it to carry forwards. Which it wouldn't really do in a real helicopter, but because of the way the flight model works in this, it will do that. So, we're bringing it down here, nice and gentle. Easy touchdown. Nice and simple. Okay, so low-speed maneuvering with a helicopter is pretty simple. Obviously, holding a hover is kind of hard, but you've got to manage the actual pitch of the aircraft because you will seesaw a lot. I know I'll seesaw here because I'm gaining and losing speed as I overcompensate in different directions. I'm also using a flight yoke, which makes it harder. So you need to pick a good visual reference point, which is why hovering over the ocean and search and rescue pilots are absolute monsters, because hovering without a visual reference point, I'm using that fire truck, for example, keeping it centered in the windshield. I'm drifting towards it, which means I have to counteract. Hovering without a visual reference point is quite difficult because you start moving around. So the guys that do this in rescue contexts, they are amazing pilots. Okay, let's just go flying. So, obviously the pitch is what controls the aircraft, and what you're doing with the cyclic is changing the pitch of the blades, which means the aircraft can fly in any direction. We're flying sideways right now. Let's go more sideways. Let's go backwards. We're flying backwards. Why not? We'll just keep flying backwards. This is cool. This is fine. Yep. Okay, let's go forwards now. It's just about managing how the rotor blade's behaving. Once you stop thinking of the helicopter like a fixed wing aircraft in terms of wanting to fly it by changing the angle of your aircraft, and start thinking about your stickers controlling the blade head or the rotor head, then you're actually maneuvering the helicopter in a much more productive way in terms of how it wants to behave. So, getting a bit of cramp in my leg here from being too much on the pedal. Let's put this on the H, shall we? There we go. Bingo. So we're touched down there. How close are we? I will call that the money shot. That'll do. Yeah, that's on the H. Now, will this do a flip like some helicopters can in real life? Let's test, and this will be the end of the video here because this is going to go wrong, I can tell you now. So let's pick up some airspeed and go forwards. Obviously, you can't just dip your nose over and call it good. This is not the average video game with helicopters in it, like Battlefield or Grand Theft Auto. You've got to actually build some lift first. So we're going to go over here, we'll build some speed, and we will gain altitude, of course. Here I'm pulling the rotors back, the rotor head back, which allows the aircraft to climb like an aircraft. Tilt the rotors forwards, which will neutralize us out here. And then we're going to turn around. Nice and simple. We're pretty low speed here, so this will help kill forward momentum. And we're just going to rise a bit more here. We're basically going up. This is fine. Nice and simple. Want to build some speed for this, because I'm pretty sure it's going to go horribly wrong, and I'll end up upside down in a tree. Now, I have crash physics turned off because I fly a lot of improvised airfields and do off-field landings, and the sim likes to call that a crash when you land in the bush. It's not. Right. Let's go down, shall we? There we go. Let's build some speed here. Let's see if we can do this, shall we? Will it flip? That could be a YouTube channel in its own right. So we're going 174 knots. Let's pull back. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to instantly lose lift when I go over the top. Oh no, I might actually make this. I'm going to lose too much lift. Oh god. No. If I had more altitude, I'd have made that. Okay, we'll call that a crash. But if we'd have had more altitude, I would have nailed that. So I'm going to call that technically a win. I got the right rotational angle to go over the top there and keep it moving. But you notice how the aircraft, once it was facing downwards, I really lost lift. So I needed more altitude to really recover that, because once the rotors were facing back down again, I needed to be able to basically do that. So let's put her on the pad and call this a day. But they've made an incredibly good aircraft here. I absolutely love flying this thing. It is a blast, and this makes me want to, of all my aircraft I fly in the sim, this makes me want to actually go and put my HOTAS back on so I can actually fly a helicopter properly, rather than using a Bravo, well, the honeycomb, alpha yoke, and a throttle quadrant. Yeah. So, flying with entirely incorrect tools, but once you understand the principles of helicopters and how they behave, it's not that wrong. It works. There we go. Nicely touched down. And it is wonderful. I love this thing. It is an absolutely amazing plane to fly. Or aircraft to fly, I should say. And incredibly enjoyable. Go download it. It is a blast. You will love it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.